Hey everybody, it's Rosalie Elliott. Welcome to the Ultimate YouTube channel. We go around the world to explore music and psychology, and it's time for some more Rush. I'm going to check out The Trees. Shout out today goes to David. Thank you for your suggestion via donation on Buy Me a Coffee. If you want to get your suggestion in front of my face, go check out Buy Me a Coffee. Please make sure to check out the requirements. I can only work on those that really meet the requirements because of the work and time it takes. I'm going to check out The Trees. Let me just look at the one that they put on YouTube 11 years ago, the remastered in HD. I love that this one
unrest in the forest.
easier.
There is trouble with the trees.
Lighter.
For the maples want more sunlight, and the oaks ignore their pleas.
The bass line on this one. Do you hear this? Oh, I like that. Okay.
The trouble with the maples, and they're quite convinced they're right. They say the oaks are just too lofty, I think they're up above the night. But the oaks can have their feelings if they like the way they're made. And they wonder why the maples can be happy in their shade.
Okay. The poetry in their songwriting is just nuts.
There is trouble in the forest, and the creatures all have fled. As the maples scream oppression, and the oaks just shake their
Shoot. No, what did I do? Hold on, go back. Let me go.
the way they're made.
Go back a bit.
And they wonder why the maples can be happy in their shade. There is trouble in the forest, and the creatures all have fled. As the maples scream oppression, and the oaks just shake their head.
Rush doing their thing again. Wow. 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 Oh, I like that. That sounds like wood. That sounds like this light knocking on wood, which is so fitting to the whole song. The musical composition, as usual, Rush doing what they do. It's interesting to me that even the way that the melody was changing and the contrast between the sound that the drums, the electric guitar, the bass line were creating, from the electric guitar solo to the bass line to the drums and the time signatures there, the way they were playing off of each other, it almost felt, not almost, it probably intentionally was done so, felt like this storytelling between the oaks and the maples, this creating this musical contrast through the instruments and through the musical notes and the composition and the melodies, this contrast between maples and oaks. That's how I heard and felt that, which was so fitting to this all around experience that is Rush. It's really not just the lyrics or just the music video or just the guitars and the drums. It's all of it coming together and this multi-layered experience where what you are hearing in words through the lyrics, you're also feeling emotionally, but you're also experiencing through the musical composition and what the instruments are doing. They're their own voice. They're their own song. Yeah, they have their own voice. They're singing, crying, speaking with the instruments. Amazing. The voices, the composition, everything so poignant and fitting. The trees, heavy indeed on the imagery. And at first I thought, oh, this could be taken so many ways, right? I mean, the idea of one group of people or person saying to another, you are pressing me, the other feeling lofty and high and mighty, as if you should be glad because I just like me and I am just the way that I am. This in general would be a very broad topic, or is a broad topic, where we can infer our own experiences. I mean, you could really have it on a micro level where we're talking about a relationship between two people, where one person is asking for some type of equality, where one person feels overshadowed by the other and the other says, I'm just the way that I am. I mean, we have this in relationship, right? One person over the course of time going through this disillusionment in marriage where all our expectations are not quite met and the honeymoon phase fades. And now we go, wait a minute, I'm always doing this for you and you're not doing this. Or these typical arguments that arise in marriage, in relationship, among siblings. One sibling may be feeling overshadowed by another, being compared by parents or by other people in their lives. It is a human experience for one person to feel some type of injustice, be it on a micro level in regards to relationships between two people or more, on a macro level when it comes to whole societies and groups of people. But it's a song where we can infer so many different things because we all maybe to a degree have experienced either being the person that says, I am the way that I am, take it or leave it. I'm not going to change and make myself small for you or move because you demand it. And there's a time and a place for that, to say, no, I'm not going to bend over backwards and walk on eggshells to be whatever you need me to be. There's also a time for humility to say, hey, let me make sure you get some light too. It's not just all about me, right? There's a difference between confidence and arrogance. We know of these dichotomies in life. But then on a greater level, and as the song progressed, I was noticing these notes of, pun intended, but these elements of these greater themes beyond the individual relationship to equality. And this made me think of racial equality, perhaps, where minorities had to fight to say, no, you are not going to overshadow me anymore. We deserve to have a space in the forest too. Or gender equality, women in this era, right, fighting for equality, saying you will not steal our light, and certain men maybe coming along saying this is just how we are and feeling lofty in their position, or the white man, like you have different themes that would come to mind. And quite honestly, that topic is as old as time. It really isn't just a black versus white, male versus female. That's just how human beings are. If it wasn't male, female, black, white in America, for example, then it was the Roman Empire pushing through, the Germanic people fighting back, or the Arabic Empire coming through and changing things, or the Moors. I mean, as far as we can go back to history, in various shades of brown as we all are, that has been a thing. One people group conquering the other, lording over the other for various reasons, and another people group saying, hey, this is not right. I want a place in the forest too. I love the idea of comparing human beings and human behavior to trees, because it is said that some people believe, or there is this idea that the way that our whole human body scientifically is built, the way we were designed, created, have evolved, it is literally the tree of life, it is said. The way that our system, our whole body, our nervous system, our bones, our muscles are woven together, how miraculous every tiny little aspect of us is, so intricate, as we often see also in trees. There's a lot of parallels. Maybe you've seen parallels between the lung and the way that the lung is shaped with all the blood flow and the nerves and the muscles and the veins, looking very similar to a tree and its roots, right? There's different parallels that people have discovered and have drawn between nature and a human being. Very, very many parallels. The way that trees communicate in underground, even with various fungi and mushrooms. It's a very intricate, very amazing system that is really not inferior to us, even though sometimes we think as lofty human beings that we are. That is another way to interpret this song. Is this perhaps also shedding light on how we come to be lofty and arrogant as human beings, thinking we are so far above the trees and the animals and we can use them and chop them down with our axes as we please? And perhaps also a song that's now going, hold on, the trees have a right to be in the light too. The forest has a right to stand, and we as human beings shouldn't just chop down all the trees, right? There's so many layers that we could take this. And then in the end, and that was the poignant part in the end, to say, oh, finally there's equality. Everything is now, a law was put in place and it rhymed really nicely. Beautiful songwriting, worked great. But now in the end saying, oh, there's a law now, there's equality governed by the axe and the, what was it? Not the machete. What type of random axe cutting am I doing? It said by all the trees are all kept equal. Hatchet, axe, and saw. And that made me go, oh, snap. Because, pun intended again, oh, snap. Horrible mom joke. Because this would possibly imply the equality is now not just for the oaks that are saying, give us space, right? It was the oaks wanting the equality and the maples lording over them, or overshadowing them. Now they're all equal. And this to me would imply that now it's not only one people group saying I want to be equal and have just as much light as you, it's now all the people being destroyed, all the trees being chopped down by the hatchet, axe, and saw. Here too, a double entendre. Is this taking us back to this idea of what we as people, lofty in our mindsets, are doing to nature? We're chopping it all down with axe and saw. All the trees wanted to have equality. We're over here now just burning it all to the ground, chopping it all off, because we are so high and mighty. Or is this parallels to what happens in human society, where we swing from one extreme to the other and then nobody is served? For example, if we look at gender equality, there was a need for women not to be oppressed. I believe there was a need for women to have the right to vote. And I chuckle because, that should go without saying, but I know that even their opinions vary and disagree. But I believe women should have the right to vote and have a say, right? And so there was a need for women to not be seen as accessories or possession. But then, because we live in the world we live in and we people do what we do, we swung to the other extreme at times where now we have seen, perhaps a promiscuity or perversion or a lack of self-control and self-worth as empowerment, right? Or where now we think that we can just go about and wear what we want and be what we want and do what we want, and I want equality. But then we're not willing to pay the price, right? Because when we ask for equality in every sense of the word, that now brings with it other consequences. And so there's this weird dichotomy in life and this weird dance between there being a need for equality, there being the place and the time to say, hey, I have no light, I need space, move away, or let me be here too. But then because we people go to the extreme and now we're hatching, axing, and sawing everything down, nobody is served. Now the whole forest is leveled. Or even with racial inequality, there was a need for minorities to have a say, but then we swing into another extreme in our society where now people are overly sensitive and cry, racism too soon at times or too quickly, or now they use it as a way to accuse and defame someone who truly wasn't trying to be racist, right? We do these extremes where we need some type of dance, not only finding the middle, but also understanding the difference between equality and equity. And so to me, there's a lot of symbolism here between what we do to the forest, literally axing it all down, but also what we do as societies, where one group needs justice or cries for justice, and perhaps rightfully so, but then we go to extremes where now everybody's just chopped down and everybody is leveled. And when you level everything in order to create equality, now nobody wins, because in life, sometimes the need is not equality, but equity. And you guys, I'm sure, have heard of this, but Equality being everyone gets the same thing. Equity being more so everybody gets what they need. There's a difference there. And that would open a whole nother conversation in regards to economy and all that jazz. We're not going to go down that rabbit hole. But as you can see, Rush is deep and that has you going. And it deals with not only nature and people and behavior, but psychology on such a profound level, so artistically. Amazing. Great suggestion. What do you suggest next? 2112-2112, I think. How am I supposed to say it? One of you guys told me in the comment section. I'll research it before I do it. That review is coming, so stay tuned. I want to do a full episode on that one. So buckle up, stay tuned, subscribe so you don't miss a thing, and I'll see you on the next ride. Heyo!